Hello, welcome to my channel. As you can see, we have got the Wheel of Fortune here today. And I think the Kate Bush song choice that I've chosen adds like an interesting dimension to this song. So we'll come to that in a minute. It's quite a straightforward card in a way. It's about change. I think that's kind of the main key word. If this was going to come up in a reading, it's the sort of card that we'd need to look at the context, because change can be positive or negative, of course. If I just show you this Pointner tarot first, just because it's based on a Marseille style deck, and I think it's interesting I've talked a lot before about with the tarot how we have to be careful, because it is a system that has been around for 100 years, and we have to be careful with our interpretations, that we're not unthinkingly taking on all those kind of hierarchical, gendered, colonial views that were around when the tarot was created, and in the Golden Dawn period as well. But saying all that, I think one of the positive kind of beliefs in the tarot system, in the early tarot, which maybe as a modern society we could learn more about, is this concept of the Wheel of Fortune. This idea that we can be doing well, that things can be, we can be successful, we might be rich, healthy, we've got our loved ones around us, and then suddenly there's this calamity that pushes us down. And I think when, hundreds of years ago, when there was more of a stronger belief maybe in fate, and certainly in the role of God, there was more that sense, I think, that it would have been considered arrogant to think that you would be on the top of the wheel and stay there, that people were vulnerable. And, of course, sickness then as well. More people died younger. People were maybe more aware of their vulnerability. We are still very vulnerable now, but I think people maybe were more aware of their vulnerability at that time. And I think maybe in our society we tend to think of life as more linear, rather than we forget the circles of the ups and downs, and we think we're going to progress, we're going to go kind of like a straight line, and life's going to get better and better. And there is that danger, even with self-help or self-development, and tarot can come into this. There's that danger that we believe that life is about that kind of straight line upwards, and things, bad things happen, and this is life. This is the key of life, is change, that we're in flux. I really like this one from Margaret Peterson because it shows that movement. Quite a few of the Wheel of Fortune cards, and you'll notice I haven't got the Thoth or the Rider-Waite here. They feel a little bit too static to me. And I really like this. I mean, it's like a whirlpool, isn't it? Or there's a plug hole, there's a movement, there's something. And you can imagine being on that edge of that would feel very scary and unsettling. The positive thing about the Wheel of Fortune, or the positive message, I think, is when we feel like we're in this dark place, the wheel will turn. There's that hope that, things will change for the better. Change will work. When things are going bad, change can work for us. This too will pass. This is a deck that I have shown quite a few times now. It's a really beautiful deck. It's called Painted Tarot. I'll try and put a link actually to the creator's website. Sorry, not her website, her videos, where she talks about the deck. In a way, she's like floating in the middle. It's almost giving us advice here when change is too much, to centre ourselves, to find what is unchanging, which is the essence of ourselves, I suppose, that kind of Buddhist idea of not being swept along by external events. So the Kate Bush song I have chosen, let me show it. You can see I was definitely, what I was aiming for was probably something similar to this Margaret Peterson when I chose it. It is snowed in at Wheeler Street from her last album, which she wrote for Elton John, and she sings as a duet. I'll just quickly say what Elton John himself said about the song and about Kate Bush, and then I'll talk a little bit about the card. So Elton John, and this comes from katebushencyclopedia.com, which do check it out. I did a duet with Kate Bush on this track for her last album. That session with her was hard because she doesn't write easy songs. She's a complex songwriter, and this is a weird song, but I love it so much. I'm so proud to be on Kate Bush record. She's always marched to the beat of her own drum. She was groundbreaking, a bit like a female equivalent of Freddie Mercury. Then he does go on, he goes, she does come out socially sometimes, and she came to my civil partnership occasion with her husband. There were so many stars in the room, but all the musicians there were only interested in saying, "You've got to introduce me to Kate Bush." I remember Boy George saying, "Oh my God, is that Kate Bush?" And I said, "Yeah." So here is a picture of, so I'll just bring it up a little bit. Maybe you can see that or not. I've got gold paint on here, and I think it's got a little bit of a shine to it. But I did, I painted this on with gesso, and then I just, kind of printed and rubbed them on. I wanted them to feel like the images were sort of swirling in this, so that they weren't too strong. They were almost overtaken by the paint. And here is a picture that I found online of Kate Bush at that civil partnership, looking really happy to be there. I thought it was a really cute, nice picture. This is Elton John in his Rocket Man days. Kate Bush has said that she started listening to Elton John when she was 11. And I think it's interesting how their relationship developed from her being a fan to friends, which I thought reflected like the change of the card, so that the relationship itself can have, especially a long relationship, can have cycles and changes, has ups and downs. This is her here with Elton John, I imagine in the 1980s. I'm not sure when, maybe during when she did Candle in the Wind, I don't know. This is her singing Rocket Man, so a link to that. This is Kate Bush with Peter Gabriel, actually. So it's her singing on Don't Give Up. But Elton John himself has said, and I will link the documentary, that that song really kept him going through a really difficult time. That song helped him through his addictions. So I thought that was a nice one to put at the bottom there. The song itself is about two souls who keep getting reincarnated and meeting up with each other, but there's that strong connection. It's a very, like lots of Kate Bush songs, it seems you can imagine it as a film. And also it's very romantic song, I think, and suited to Elton John's very rich voice. I liked, though, this lyric of, but the world won't stop turning, because I think in that song there's the sense that the two people want to be together, to be at the centre of that world, if you like, but things keep pushing them away. They keep getting swept up by external events. So I felt it was an interesting perspective on the world card. And I think that's really mainly what I have to say about this tarot card. If you've got anything to add or any other songs you think would be suitable for this. As always, comment below. I'm always really interested to hear what you've got to say. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.